And now, because your pathetic life is confined to countless hours in front of a talking box, the Men's Room presents TV Time with Ted.
Yeah, my bad.
Hit the loser button on that.
Armageddon.
There we go. Want to give a quick shout out for Saturday night, man. I was down at the Emerald Queen Casino for the WFC MMA fights. But Emerald Queen Casino, that showroom just looks awesome. My buddy Eddie Blackburn's the matchmaker there. It was a lot of fun, and you know I used to host fights down there for Cage Sport for years. So it was like a family reunion, man. Running into the refs, running into all the guys from the other camps and everything. I was talking with some listeners and stuff. It was a real fun time.
Nice. Good, man.
Sat there with a fire chicken from the scrapyard. Got all fired up. You never know. Maybe my fighting days aren't over, Miles.
That's right. Uh-oh.
Could be coming back.
And you said that steakhouse kicks ass.
Yeah. I literally had one little appetizer and two cocktails up there at that steakhouse. They got a beautiful deck out there. Saturday was piss and rain, so I didn't go out on the deck. But it was delicious. And then the people behind me were eating steaks. I was like, damn, I kind of want to hang out here. Mm-hmm. But no, real good time. And, a lot of nice people. And frankly, go watch live fights. I hadn't watched any in a while. You know, I'll still keep up with UFC and everything.
Yeah.
But, you know, unfortunately, my guy Patrick Benson lost. But, man, there was a lot of blood in that last fight, right? It was spurting out. And then talking to him afterwards, and he's like, dude, at one time we're clinched, and he's like, I could hear it.
Oh, the blood shooting out of his
top over his eyebrow. But then, the guy sunk in a good choke and got him. But I'm just telling you, like, seeing live fights, I'll tell you what else. There was a couple guys in there, right, that I had seen I'd seen them fight a few times or whatever, and they were retiring.
All right.
And man, watching a fighter, like, you could feel it in their voices. Like right now, like I was sitting there, I almost started tearing up. I'm like, God damn, man, keep going. You know, and it's the same thing. You know, people forget it's just a very hard career.
Yeah.
Even to get to a local level of pro fights. And then, like a lot of these guys, they're just in their 30s, and it's like, well, I got kids. I
also have a job, probably. Yep.
Yeah, exactly.
All the other stuff.
Right. So you just forget, you know what I mean? Like, you're so used to seeing...
Wait, UFC guys.
Correct.
Top of the game, all this kind of thing. Still young. Yeah, you hit your 30s, like, yeah, bro, I got kids. And getting punched in the face is not.
Yeah, and I saw my guy Papa there, Aaron. Like, he was like, dude, you remember my first fight? He goes, I'm a weirdo. I didn't start fighting until like late 30s.
Oh, wow. Okay. Damn.
Yeah, but super fun night. And yeah, when those events get out, man, people are looking good. You're all jacked up and razzed up. It was good. And then also, they got a little deli in there. You can get a sandwich.
Good sandwich?
At 1 a.m, yeah. The lady's basically running her own Subway. Felt bad for her, you know what I mean? The line's packed, but she was running through it quick. I was like, all right.
Good.
Also, obviously, with sports weekend, no Seahawks, so people were doing stuff. Huskies got a nice win.
Mm-hmm.
Illinois was ranked. There was a lot of wild weather there. I think one of the craziest things from the weekend, though, was watching some Red Zone when I got home.
All right.
And I saw Scatterboo get injured.
Yeah.
Right? Don't look it up. It's a gruesome-looking injury.
Oh, they showed. And I wasn't even watching Red Zone because I actually had the Ravens on at the network game. They bring up Scatterboo, and I kind of don't care who you are. You're like, you like this dude. And then they say, well, we're going to show you the injury, but we're going to show it in slow motion. You might want to turn.
Is that the running back from the Giants?
Yes.
Yeah. And I wish I had turned
just that
away.
battling ram of a dude.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, you had to know by watching him run all year that couldn't last forever.
But that's not the kind of injury he got, though.
Oh.
That's not the injury.
Miles, I'm with you, but this was more of I think they made him illegal, those hip tackles.
Uh-huh.
And they just, the guy's holding him from behind, puts his weight down. And look, I get it. Tackling is hard. It's not as easy as it
looks.
looks.
It happens in 1 second.
Right, but they said dislocated his ankle, but his foot was pointing the wrong way.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
But what's amazing about Scatterboo getting injured, he plays for the Giants. Mm-hmm. I'm with you. I think all of the nation just likes the way he runs and everything.
Yeah.
He was in Philly. They gave him a round of applause when they carted him off the field.
Thank you. This is Philadelphia.
Philadelphia booed Santa Claus. So Michael Irvin got almost paralyzed on the field.
And they cheered.
They cheered him. And the fact I heard that, I was like,
I thought the same thing. Like,
well,
are they? Oh, wow. Okay.
I guess they admire that guy.
I guess they put humanity in the water.
Well, if things work out as correctly, like they get Barkley, they'll probably get him.
All right.
Well, that's the other thing, too. That's just going to be brutal for a Giants fan. I mean, Saquon leaves, you know what I mean? And I watched that off-season show with the Giants. And the owner even specifically said, like, I do not want to see him go in division. Then he does. He leaves for 1 year and they win a Super Bowl.
1 year.
Yeah, and people are all upset about the tush push and this and that. So,
Stop it.
still football.
Stop the game. Yeah.
Obviously, there's a lot of Halloween stuff going on over the weekend, too. We'll talk more about this week. This is an interesting list. These are animated characters based on real people. So you probably saw a lot of people dressed up as these characters this weekend. Let's see. What's an interesting one? Lord Farquaad.
Oh.
From Shrek.
Wait a minute, hold on.
Now, is he based on a historical person or someone who's kind of alive?
Quaker Oats guy.
This guy is still alive.
Still alive.
Do you want a hint?
Is he an actor?
No. The hint is this is when Pixar was on their own.
Oh, so that means it's a Disney
Walt
guy.
Disney or...
Allegedly, Lord Farquaad was inspired by former Disney CEO Michael Eisner.
Did he have hair like that?
This was DreamWorks.
I'm about to say that's not a Pixar. That's a DreamWorks movie. So
No. It is a Pixar. They had a rivalry, or I guess either one. They had a rivalry with whoever the Disney company was.
Yeah.
gotcha.
So they made Lord Farquaad him.
Okay.
Also, you spend a lot of time on the internet like I do. You got to look up. There's a short white rapper in New York who has his hair cut like Lord Farquaad. It's pretty hot right now. I don't know if he could rap it there. I just got my hair, dude. But
Berries and cream.
it's just hilarious. He has the exact same haircut.
Okay.
Right? He like runs skits and everything.
God, people did not like Disney back in the day, did they? Between the Looney Tunes stuff you were talking to me about.
Yeah, well, it's not that you didn't like Disney. You appreciated what he did, but a lot of it's just sensibility. So like me, even as a child, I wasn't fond of Disney. Not out of a hatred thing, but everything they did, Walt Disney himself was very much about trying to be very positive, be very optimistic. And that's what he put in his movies. And I just don't care for that. I just want more violence and ridiculous.
Well, a lot of people, too, like, I love the parks and everything, but, like, for them, when you're trying to start up something that's in a similar field, and you just have one giant conglomerate that owns everything and basically buys everything, which they ended up doing.
They ended up doing, but...
Right? It's like, so that's why he's the evil empire.
Right,
okay.
You know what I mean? I mean, look at baseball right now, right? Like, you don't really have a reason to hate the Dodgers other than their payroll is just ridiculous. So it's like, you should be there.
I literally am just, like, in my third book about all the old animation stuff. So Walt Disney, he was not hated back in the day when he first started, like in the 30s, all right? But he was, keep in mind, at the time they were making these cartoons, these were specifically for movies. They won Oscars and stuff like that, okay? So Walt Disney, he was, quote unquote, the good guy. So you do the Snow Whites and positive message. The guys from Looney Tunes, they would have been the equivalent of South Park back then, where they're like, they did great animation,
Gabby's
but they
getting his
said,
face shot with a shotgun.
we want violence and ridiculous stuff and all that. And they kind of went back and forth between each other. Where Disney, the Walt Disney that everyone thinks that everyone hates now, that was like 30 years after the fact. It's about the time that he started opening his parks. But in an animation thing, it was just a friendly rivalry. No one really hated each other. You just kind of... Because there was Warner Brothers who did Looney Tunes, there was Disney doing Disney, and there was one other major player, did like Felix the Cat or whatever it was back in the day. But they were all literally making shorts for movie theaters. So they just went after Disney because as far as the world getting really excited about animation, because animators back then were not making things for children. They were making things for adults. And they kind of would rub Disney because they're like, you're making kid stuff.
Speaking of cartoons for adults, Betty Boop. She was mainly inspired by 1920s singer Helen Kane, but her facial features and hairstyle were inspired by actress Carla Blow. Bo.
Oh, I like the other one better.
Just read about Betty Boop. This is going to sound stupid, all right? So there was a massive court case with Betty Boop. The first big animated character was Felix the Cat. He ran basically 20s to 30s. No one could top him. They put out Betty Boop. She dethroned Felix the Cat, okay? But at the time they were doing, because again, this was not for children. So her boobs were out and all this kind of thing. She was a very flirtatious, sexual kind of character.
Yeah.
But again, it didn't matter because it was for adults. But there was an actual lawsuit because the woman they said they based it on, she tried to sue the company that did Betty Boop. And believe it or not, the lawsuit came down to, and I don't know the exact words for Betty Boop, but like she ended everything with like boo-bop-a-doo or bebop. So this chick tried to sue because she goes, hey, and I know that these guys have been to my show. We all kind of know each other, but I would end my act with like boopy-doo-dop, all right? So then the defendants are like, well, yeah, she goes boopy-doo-dop, but we're saying like doo-wop-a-doo-bop. keep in mind, the judge is losing his mind on this. Then they had to get this black lady who was like on the jazz circuit that not a lot of people knew about. And she was like, look, I was doing this before the chick who's trying to sue them because they used to come to my club as well. And I ended my things with like, dippity-doo boop boop. So she's suing about the boop-bop-a-doo. The Betty Boop people are like, right, but we don't say that. We say like boop-a-doopy-dop, and then the black chick's like, yeah, because they took that from my dop-a-dop-a-doo-doo. And they said this judge is losing his mind because these people are being serious. Right? And he's just like, Jesus Christ. She ended up losing her lawsuit, by the way.
Ursula from Little Mermaid. She was designed after the drag queen Divine,
Yep.
star of classic John Waters movies like Pink Flamingo, Female Trouble, and Hairspray.
She looks exactly like Divine, too. If you see Divine, like, there's no question about that.
One of my cousins that owns the popcorn empire, he once as a child fessed up that Ursula scared him.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Yeah, he's 40. He's got 2 kids. We still give him a hard time.
I don't know why he said it.
You can't admit anything like that.
Not in my family. Jesus Christ, they'll never let it go. Aladdin, Tom Cruise inspired his facial expressions and mannerisms.
Okay.
And his middle tooth.
Miss Piggy, she was inspired by jazz singer Peggy Lee's blonde locks and glorious persona.
Yeah, she was originally called Peggy Lee.
Piggy Lee.
Seriously, yeah.
And then Popeye the Sailor Man, he was inspired by a real Polish sailor from Illinois named Frank Rocky Friegel.
Okay.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
kind of wild.
I literally just read a book this weekend about just anime, but all this, but Popeye, all this stuff. It's a weird history, but yeah.
I believe today is the sports equinox. So you have all 4 major sports going.
Ooh.
You have the World Series over on Fox. You got Monday Night Football on ESPN with Kansas City hosting the Commanders. There's hockey, there's basketball, and also your Seattle Sounders FC over on Fox Sports 1, or Fox Sports, whatever they call it now, for a game at 6. But Sports Equinox happens once a year, Mike. I know you're throwing a party. Thanks for the invite, dude.
Hell yeah, man.
Thank you, Tim. We appreciate it. You're listening to The Men's Room.